Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to today's Xerox DocuShare Flex webinar, Content Management Made Easy. We have some great content to present today, so let's get started. Today's speakers are Pavan Lurisetti, Director of Product Management, and Brian Lincoln, Director of Channels. And then we're going to kick it off now with Pavan. You have the floor, sir.
Hello, and welcome to DocuShare Flex webinar. I'm Pavan Gaurisetti, Director of Product Management, and joining me today is Brian Lincoln, our Director of Global Channels. Our agenda today is to introduce how Xerox can help organizations achieve their digital transformation goals, an introduction to DocuShare Flex, and demo of the product. Xerox DocuShare is part of our managed document services portfolio, where we offer a broad range of services and solutions from not just helping customers enhance their value in Xerox print infrastructure, but also through content workflow and marketing solutions. Our offerings are focused on helping SMB, small medium business customers more than ever through innovative ways to deliver our offerings and align more closely with the market needs. To add a little context around why digital transformation is key, here are a few relevant metrics. Automation is seen as a key differentiator. More than 20% of the knowledge workers will adopt this automation by 2080. Process efficiency is pivotal to business productivity, and a typical SMB on average sees at least 4 costly processes that need to be automated. Staggering 81% of the SMBs believe that automation is key to success. And a high barrier to this digital transformation is paper and processes that still involve paper. And we at Xerox Managed Document Services strive to help customers cross these barriers through our services and solutions. With that, I will transition over to Brian Lincoln to walk through the rest of the agenda. Thank you.
Pavan, thank you very much. Once again, this is Brian Lincoln. I'm Director of Channel Programs with Xerox DocuShare. And we're really excited, and think you should be too, about DocuShare Flex. So what is DocuShare Flex? Stated simply, it's simply a powerful content management that's born in the cloud. It's an entirely new cloud-based platform for content management that is intuitive to use and provides everything an organization needs to manage the entire lifecycle of content from the point of digitization until the content has met its business and legal requirements and is no longer needed. Flex provides the tools to capture, store, secure, manage, process, access, and retain content all in one easy-to-use application. And it's a great tool for workflow automation in solving content challenges throughout the organization, such as management of employee files, legal documents and retention policies, invoices and financial records, and also challenges in industries like education, healthcare, government, and manufacturing. Taking a look at what Flex brings, as we mentioned, Flex is an entirely new product born in the cloud. It's based on a high-performance architecture that can easily scale from small businesses with 5 users to enterprises with thousands of users and many millions of documents. And it provides a 100% web-based, modern, intuitive interface that works great on both PCs and mobile devices. We also mentioned that Flex is designed to handle the entire lifecycle and content from capture through retention, which you see on this slide. Flex can capture documents from virtually any source and manage capture workflows and other activities from Flex work queues with the ability to classify and index content with powerful database lookup features. Routing and business rules allow you to automate document workflows. Users can collaborate with review routing, which helps automated content collaboration. For review routing, we can use layered annotations to help collect content review input from each reviewer, and notifications keep everyone informed of content updates. Version control keeps track of all content changes by author, while only allowing the latest or approved changes to be visible to consumers in the system. And the audit trail captures all of the actions and changes in the system, providing a full document history showing who did what when to content, with lifecycle management capabilities that automate periodic document review and retention policies, helping ensure compliance. For processing documents, processing workflow tasks, and Flex provides a configurable work queue to help organize and manage tasks and due dates and provide information that performers need to complete and perform work efficiently. Flex provides routing for authoring, review, and approval of documents, as well as classification and indexing of content. High-performance multi-format file viewing makes processing images easy with annotations and redaction, which is also integrated into a multi-pane task window, which you see shown in the image on the right, which provides all the information required to process documents and make decisions delivered right to your personal work queue. In route workflows, lifecycle management, and other document processes can be automated via a powerful content rule engine that literally lets the system work for you. So what does this all get you? Adopting content management in the cloud provides a myriad of benefits, including finding and accessing information quickly with powerful search features and a cloud-based access that's available almost anywhere. Improving content security from loss, theft, or disaster by storing content in a secure cloud repository hosted by Xerox on the Microsoft Azure Cloud Network. Improving productivity and efficiency by automating document processes, and further lowering costs through paper reduction. The system easily scales with your business, ensuring a secure home for your content today and as your organization grows and evolves into the future. And improve compliance with business and legal requirements on document retention and periodic review with powerful lifecycle management features. So what makes DocuShare Flex unique? Well, first of all, it's a 100% web-based solution that's born in the cloud, making it super easy to acquire and quick to deploy to your team. Flex can be delivered quickly, sometimes within hours of being purchased, and can be deployed easily through a web browser requiring no installation on end-user systems. It's provided by Xerox, meaning that you have the backing of a global company dedicated to your document management success. And it can be provided by the same company that provides your MFPs and management services in many cases. As a global company, DocuShare Flex is available globally with global product support available 24/7 around the clock, around the globe. Flex also provides built-in Xerox multifunction printer integration with the ability to place scan workflows directly on the touch screen of the multifunction device. And as mentioned before, Flex will grow and scale with your company regardless of the size of your company or your company's ambitions. And all of this in a SaaS-based offering that offers low startup costs, low total cost of ownership, and low IT investment. So speaking of MFP integration, Flex Scan services enable easy integration with Xerox ConnectKey multifunction printers through corporate firewalls from a central interface. It enables scan buttons for capture workflows on the device touchscreen to control things like document type, indexing, and scan destination. The buttons provide easy low-touch scanning into Flex. All the scan operator needs to know is which button to select and provide the information selected on the touchscreen. The system takes care of the rest of the details and most of the complexity. And it is, of course, compatible with our latest Xerox line of VersaLink and AltaLink ConnectKey multifunction printers. So, enough with the slides and talking about it. Let's go ahead and jump into the demo, where I'll talk some more. Okay, so I'm here at my computer looking at the Flex homepage. I've already navigated to and logged into the system. Flex works with your LDAP server so that it syncs with your corporate LDAP server if you have one, and it uses your LDAP credentials to log in. You'll notice that Flex provides a nice, clean, modern-looking mobile web-based type UI with the nice icons. It provides responsive design. It looks fantastic both on my computer screen, as you see here, but also works great on mobile devices such as tablets. Here on the welcome screen, I have a number of tabs to help me familiarize myself with the application if you're just getting started. As I tab through this, you can see here when I go to Automate and Create Tasks, and so on and so on. that I get a breakdown, an overview of a particular area of functionality in the system, how to get the best use out of it, and also how to get access to more information and start using the features. Across the left here, you see I have a handy navigation bar that gives me access to just about any place in the system. We'll take a look at that again in a second. Across the top, we have the search bar. The search bar provides a simple Google-type search that will give you easy access to search across all the objects in the system, across all the properties, and as well as metadata search. You can see I did a simple search on Inno, and it returned documents with include Inno as well as comments on the document include Inno. Then here to the right, you can see that I have access to my personal profile and my properties. I'll go ahead and look in here for just a second to give you an idea of what I can do with my personal user. You can see, as I mentioned, we're based on LDAP, so I can edit my LDAP properties, edit my LDAP password, and get at things such as like my activity history and my group membership. But the one thing I'm going to point out here is that my home page is configurable. And so I'll have my home page set to the welcome page. Whenever I'm in the application anywhere and I need to get back to my home page, I simply go to my nav bar, go up here and select the DocuShare Flex title, and it'll return me to my home page. Also down the left of the nav bar, I could easily get into my tasks, where I go to receive workflow tasks that have been sent to me to perform, where I could manage tasks, which are tasks that have been sent to other users that I'm listed as a manager on the workflow for, so I could communicate with participants in the workflow, even pause and add additional information, or even abort and pull back their workflows if need be. I have search here, which we'll look at in a second. Now I also have files. So looking at search, this gives me access into my quick search and my saved searches. Now quick search is a simple search interface that allows me to search across specific types of documents and search across the properties that are unique to those types of documents so I can easily find information. So for instance, the invoice type, I can easily search based on my vendor name, vendor ID, invoice number, invoice amount, or invoice date. Then it's simple for me to save those searches and make them available for anybody in the system to use. Now, saved searches do have permissions, so I can only expose saved searches to people that need to use them if I choose to. Here, let's go ahead and run a search for invoices under $500. And you can see that it returns my Innoplas invoice with an invoice amount of $187. Let's go back to search. Go into quick search. And let's take a look for POs in the system. And sure enough, I have a number of POs in the system. I'm going to go ahead and select one, and I'm going to add it to my bookmarks. Now, bookmarks is a feature similar to the bookmarks in your browser. It allows you to flag pages or objects in the system that I want to go back and use later. It's great for a work in process area. If I want to move things around or relate things together, it's easy for me to put them in my bookmarks and then access my bookmarks from other areas in the application. So I've just added a PO to my bookmark. We'll associate that with my invoice later as we process an invoice. Clipboard is where I put items to move them around the repository or to put shortcuts if I want objects to appear in one more location. Trash works exactly as you expect a trash can to work. It allows things that have been deleted to go in the trash where they'll stay for 90 days or any other period that you want to configure. I can pull things out of trash to restore them back into the repository if I want. Now, background jobs, users and groups, and administration, I have access to because I'm a coordinator in the system. It's a specific type of user. Flex also comes with contributors and consumers as the 3 Cs types of basic roles that are configured in the system, along with administrators. Based on your role, you'll be exposed to different things in the interface. Now, one more thing I'd like to show you before we jump into our demo scenario is that I can go ahead and collapse this navigation pane. As I mentioned, the icons are relatively simple, easy to understand, and I also have a nice mouse over navigation that shows me exactly what it is I'm selecting. So this opens up real estate so you can use more of the application. We'll go ahead and expand it so it's easy to follow along. One more thing I'd like to show before we start off is this information icon here. You'll show this in a number of places, but since we just ran a search, I'll show you what this gives you. Any place you see this in the application, it's a mouse over where you can easily go and get additional information on how to get the most value out of a specific feature or control. So let's go ahead and go into Files, and let's add some content into the system. So I've designed a simple scenario here where I'm going to be adding invoices into the system. Now, invoices can come from many locations. Some invoices get emailed. Other invoices arrive as paper and need to be scanned into the system. So what I've done is I've set up a Scan Documents folder that when I drop things into the folder, it'll go ahead and it'll route things for indexing to ensure that all of those invoices get handled the exact way. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these invoices. I'm going to go and scan it in here, or drag it in here. And you'll see here that I get two options for dropping. I can drop it here as a document for immediate upload, or I can drop it here to select my document type to classify it and index it right away. Again, I'm dealing with perhaps many, many invoices, and it may be somebody's job to do this in the organization. And this may also come in from other locations, such as a scanner or an email queue or a watch folder. So I'm going to go ahead and add this, and we're going to go ahead and process this from my work queue. Okay, so now what's happened is that a content rule has recognized that an event has occurred in this folder, and that content rule is configured to route objects dropped into the folder for indexing. There's another content rule configured on this folder that when I configure something into the right type or change its type into the right type of object, it will then go ahead and move it again into the proper folder. And that's exactly what we expect to happen. Before we go to My Tasks, I'm going to show you Manage Tasks to give you an idea of what we can do there without spending a lot of time. But here now I go into Manage Tasks, and you can see that here are all the tasks that are out for processing that I'm listed as a manager on. And sure enough, here's my Index 2017 cache specialties that just got routed. Now if I go here and select this and select my actions, you can see that I can pause that, I can board it, I can restart it, or I can even flag it. And what a flag means is that I want to add additional information to that task. So I'm going to go ahead and flag this. And now that I should see that flag when I go to process that later, that tells the person performing that task that there's additional information that I need to provide. So what I'll do is I'll go in here really quick. I'm going to add a comment. We won't talk much about the screen because we're going to see it in a second. And I'm just going to say pay attention to new invoice processing rules effective June 1st. I'm going to post that comment. You can see there it is next to my name, easy to see that I posted that comment. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of here, and we're going to go and we're going to process that task. I'm going to navigate into My Tasks. And of course I'm doing this all as the same user. Generally these would be different users doing this, but for simplicity for the demo, I went ahead and did this all as a single user. And you see that I have tasks of different types. I have an index task, I have invoice approval task, and there I am in my work queue. You see here's my flag column, and here's the task that I flagged. So I know that there's additional information that I need to pay attention to when I look at. Now the thing to notice is that all of these columns here are configurable, so I can have whatever information I want show up in this work queue. Each of the columns I can sort both up and down, and I can filter across the top. So for instance, I have Approve or Reject, Review, and I have general task types out of the box with Flex. An index uses a general task type, so if I filter on the index on general, you see that I only see my indexing task types. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at how this works. And what you'll see right away is I have this really nice multi-pane display where I see the document presented to me with a high-performance multi-format file viewer. In fact, it's byte streaming this page to me, so even if this were an enormous document, it would only take the bandwidth necessary to send me the information that I'm actually reading, so it's really high performance. Across the top, you see that I have controls for annotating and redacting the document. I have controls for versioning and working with the document. I can check it out. I can add a new version. I can lock the document. I have controls to change the type, to classify the document, and to bookmark it. Moving across the top, I have tools to easily move backwards and forwards between the tasks in my work queue. And imagine you're the type of person that processes 100 invoices a day. being able to go forwards and backwards through my list of invoices without having to go back to my work queue and select another task saves me time and saves the company money. Now what I'm going to go down is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take a look at some other things. You see I have recipients, comments, related documents. We'll get that to in a second. But I'm going to acquire this task. What acquire is a nice feature of Flex that provides some simple workforce optimization. I have the ability to send this document to a group of indexers, which is exactly what I've done. And by acquiring it, I've said for the entire group that I'm going to process this task on behalf of the group. So I can send the task to the entire group. Once I've acquired it, it now only shows up in my work queue, not in the work queue of my other co-indexers. What this means is I can handle things like out of office elegantly, because if I'm out of office, there's other indexers ready to pick up the work that normally I would work on. It also allows for simple workforce optimization because when you are available to do additional work, you simply go take the next item off the task, so it helps balance that workload across all the people in the indexing group. Now that I've acquired it, I have a number of things that I'm going to do. Let's pretend that I work for a public agency and this document may be subject to a Freedom of Information Act request. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and redact it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to redact the ship to receipt here, because even though this was billed to and I see who had sent it, the ship to is the person that's actually getting it, and we may not want people in the public to know exactly who they're shipped to. So I can take this redaction control and draw a nice little square rectangle around it. And then I have this control here to burn in. When I burn in, I can select to burn in my redactions or my annotations, and I can burn in. Now, burning in creates a new version of the document so that I can't go and see the version or the document without the redaction. It's actually part of the image and now part of that document. Okay? I also noticed some things that are wrong here. I noticed that the FOB information is missing, so I better make an annotation and call that as well. So let's go highlight this annotation, and we don't want yellow. Let's go red, and let's go ahead and circle. No, actually, we want this one here. We're going to do. There we are. Let's go and circle this. Maybe give ourselves a little arrow to point to it. Probably not necessary. The big red circle is probably fine, but just to give you an idea, there's the text control. What does it say? Missing info. It's good enough. A little bigger. There we are. Missing info. So it's obvious that's what we have here. Now with redaction, I can burn in, but what I can also do is if I save the redaction, or the annotation, excuse me, it saves it as a layer. So rather than altering the file, it saves it as a layer on top of the file. I can actually send this to multiple people, have multiple people annotate the document, and it'll store their annotations separately from each other and allow me to pull them up one by one and look at those annotations. So it's a great way of facilitating a review cycle on content. Okay, let's moving across the top here. Let's go ahead and change the type now. We see that this is an invoice. And so I'm going to go ahead and select invoice. Go to next. Now again, I could go ahead and index this document right here if I wanted to, but I want to pull some information off of the screen. So I'm going to press done, and instead what's going to happen is that my display over here on the right is going to alter to show my invoice properties. Okay? And so what I also have is I have database lookup configured here, so that if I go ahead and enter the phone number off of this document here, let's go ahead and zoom in on that. Oops, view. The 216-292-7393. I tab out of there. What you see is that the database lookup will go out to my finance system or ERP system and automatically pull that information in. Database lookup is really important when you're doing application integration with line of business applications. If you want to retrieve this document from that line of business application with our search URL capability, you have to make sure it's indexed correctly on the way in. And database lookup is a great way to make sure that that works. Okay? A couple other things that I'm going to do. I can go ahead and I can look at the other recipients that are in here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save these properties. Well, let's do something else. Let's go ahead and let's get my PO number. Well, I don't have my PO number, my invoice amount. We'll enter that in as well. Go ahead and do my search thing here, my Zoom thing here. And again, I have 866.50. So we'll get the 866.50 in there. And let's go ahead and apply this. Okay. So the other thing that I want to show here is that if I go to the comments, sure enough, there's the comment, pay attention to invoice processing rules effective June 1st. And the other thing that I'm going to do as I prepare this to send this for approval is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to related documents. And you can see here that I can manage my related documents. It's very simple here to go here, and I mentioned how my Bookworks works with this, to go in here and select one of these bookmarks to add as my related document. So there, I've just now related the purchase order with the invoice associated with that purchase order. I'm going to change the type to invoice. I will annotated and redacted that content. Let's go ahead and complete this. We'll close it. And now we see that we've already now approved that task, and it's no longer in my work queue. Navigating back to files, I can also come and look in my scanned documents, and we can see that that document is no longer in my scanned documents, so it has indeed been moved into my invoices folder, or at least I believe it's been moved into my invoices folder. Let's go ahead and take a look. So here I am. There is the Cast Specialties PDF. Now I can open this in my document viewer. And sure enough, there's a redaction that I created and the annotation that I created. And here you can see that my annotation is saved as me. If I had sent this to other people, I would see other people's annotations under the annotations for review, or I could select them and view them. Now let's also go in to the properties for this document. You can see here there's all the information for the invoice entered that we entered before. You know, I have my document history and all the things that I've been able to do this. If I go to related documents, I'll see the document that we related to it. But what I can also do is I can route this. Since I've gotten this ready to route for approval, let's go ahead and do that. And so what this does is this brings up another control where I'll look for the routes, the workflow routes that are available for me to use. And again, like everything in the system, these are controlled by permissions. So I'm allowed to configure my workflow routes so I only see the ones that matter to me. Since I'm a finance manager in my demo, we'll go ahead and select invoice approval, and we'll go ahead and route that document. And that's it. We've now routed that document for approval. If we go to my tasks, we can see there it is, my approval document right there. If I were to go and select this and approve it, you'd see an experience similar to what we had just done to classify, index the document for approval. And that is the demo of DocuShare Flex. Great. So to wrap things up, Flex provides simply yet powerful content management in the cloud. It's intuitive and easy to use, affordable, and available starting at 5 user configurations. Flex provides all the tools needed by an organization to manage the entire life cycle and automate document-based business processes. It allows your organization to find information faster, get work done more quickly, remove repetitive tasks, save money, reduce paper consumption, go digital, and go green. So why not find out more about DocuShare Flex? And to do that, you can get in touch with one of our sales representatives by emailing docushare.info@xerox.com or contacting your partner or rep if you're already working with someone. You can also find more information on our website at docushare.com. Thank you all for attending. We appreciate your time. Let's go ahead and go to our chat line for questions.
Okay, I think that's all the questions we have today. We thank you for joining today's webinar. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Keep a lookout for information on the next DocuShare webinar.